Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and wake up, it's Friday morning. We've got an exciting time as well because we have got new champions, and what is more fun than going over new legendaries and new epics and getting you a live reaction to if we've got something insane coming to the game or if they are pretty meh. So I'm going to go through and show you my live reaction, and then I will grade each one based off of what I can see here. I have not read over this post yet. We're going to go through it live and react to what we are reading in terms of new champions coming to the game under January champions in this post that Raid put out this morning. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first up, we have got a legendary from the Orcs, okay, and Magic Affinity Attack Champion. It's going to be some sort of damage dealer. Alright, so the A1 is going to be attack one enemy 2 times, each hit, 30% chance of placing a big defense break for 2 turns. Chance increases to 50% if target is, okay. And then we get a little bit of damage and buff chance there. So a pretty reliable defense break multi-hitter on the A1. Then we've got an AoE that can book to a 3-turn cooldown. At least we can see what the books do in terms of damage, buff chance, and cooldown. That is very important in grading champions. So AoE, 75% chance. You can book that up to 100, it looks like, of placing accuracy down and true fear. That's pretty solid on a 3-turn cooldown. Champions from the High Elf and Dark Elf factions cannot resist. So you're getting guaranteed value in lowering accuracy and placing True Fear. And then they cannot be resisted if they're High Elf or Dark Elf. So if you're countering something like Lysandra, Arbiter, things like that, Foley and the Dark Elves, gonna be placing a lot of accuracy down in True Fear. Then we've got a single hitter that will ignore shield. Decrease the cooldown of battle flow by 2 turns, fill the champion's turn by 30%, and place increased crit damage if we get a kill. Okay, so we're going to cycle through the single target ability. You can book it to a 4-turn cooldown, you lower it by 2, so it's basically a 2-turn cooldown if you get a kill. We don't know the multipliers on things like this. On single target abilities, we have to know the multipliers because they have to hit hard in order to have good value, but okay. And then we got a passive, heal the champion by 50% of their max HP every time this champion kills an enemy. Also grant an extra turn every time this champion kills an enemy from the High Elf or Dark Elf. Okay, so again, if they kill a High Elf or Dark Elf, they get an extra turn just inherently from their passive. And they're also going to heal by a massive amount every time they get a kill, stacking off of their max HP. The cooldowns are on a 3-4 rotation, but you've got an ability to lower it down. So, okay, I mean, a damage dealer that can place some CC and some defense break attack accuracy down. I mean, okay, I would put this like a B. Like, not gonna be some god to your champion, but definitely has some utility and can kind of self-sustain and play some CC and stuff. So it has some utility. Then next up, we are getting a Void Legendary. So this one needs to be good because we're adding a Void Lego to the shard pool. We've got Jingwan. We're going to be an HP champion from Shadowkin. Attack 1 enemy, transfer a random debuff from the champion onto the target. I hope that hits hard because that's going to be kind of inconsistent for value. And then we've got the A2, can book to a 2-turn cooldown. A single hitter that can book to 100% chance of decreasing duration of 2 random debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Of increasing the duration of 2 random debuffs. Okay, that's good. And then also place a block active skills for 1 turn if the target's under a decreased accuracy or decreased crit damage. Okay, it's quite the qualifier, but it is a 2-turn cooldown. I hope it hits pretty hard. I'm sure it does if it's a Void Legendary. So hopefully that scales pretty well with his HP. And then we've got attack all enemies 2 times. I like an AoE multi-hitter. That's rare in Raid. The first hit you can book it to 100% chance of decreased accuracy. Oh, and then also placing the crit damage himself. Okay, that's good. And then also place a strengthen on this champion for 2 turns. It is a 4-turn cooldown fully booked, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's decently impactful. And then we've got a passive immune to all CC. Okay, that's pretty good. Whenever a CC debuff is placed on an ally, remove it and place a block debuffs on that ally for 2 turns. That's pretty cool. So sorry, let me scroll down here. The cooldown there is 6 and it books to 4, but in like an arena scenario, where you're in a go second team and you just immediately remove all CC. I think it is all of them: sleep, provoke, stun, petrify, freeze, fear. Yeah. And then increase ally HP in all battles by 33%. That's a really good aura. Yeah, I mean, I could see this having utility for sure. That passive is going to be really cool in the arena for sure. Okay, I'd give this like an A-. I like the passive really increases the value here. That's definitely a cool role and function in the game. So yeah, I'm gonna go with A- here on the HP Shadowkin Void Lego. Oh, and then this one right here, this is going to be the Fusion Champion or Fragment Summon Event Champion that's coming up starting next week. We're going to be having the event for Opardin Clanfather. And we already kind of went over his kit. The quick refresher course is he's got a multi-hitter A1. But we can actually see that this is actually important because we can see the book breakdown and the cooldowns and stuff, which we couldn't see in the original text document teaser that Plarium gave us to share with you guys. So let's go over this actually. A multi-hitter A1, 50% chance to decrease the target's turn meter by 5%. And a 50% chance of, okay, yeah, so that's the turn meter kind of manipulation swap. And the buff chance is 15%, so 65%. Okay, I mean, it's okay for an A1. We do get a 3-turn cooldown on the A2, and it's an AoE. And you actually get more heal by 10%. Okay. Okay, not bad. And then, okay, we also get a 3-turn cooldown. I think we actually did know the cooldowns. We just didn't know the buff chance and stuff like that. I think we did. I think they did tell us at least the default cooldowns in the text document. But they both book to a 3-turn cooldown, which is good. Remove block buffs, heal reduction, place 2. Okay, yeah. So and then I think what most people were hoping for with this guy is the passive, where each time a continuous heal buff heals an ally, fill their turn meter by 5%. Well, the main change that I want is make that 10%. If you just do that one change, I think this guy would have a pretty cool role in the game, pairing with continuous heals and helping you kind of snowball more turns based on your heals. Would be kind of a cool niche to have in raid, but 5% is a little bit too low. Bump that up to 10%, and I think it'd be a pretty cool fragment summon event. But as he stands right now, I'm gonna give this guy like a C+, B- type of grade. And then we're getting a Sacred Order Legendary, another attack champion. Okay, attack 2 times at random and have 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if critical. Okay. And then we got attack 3 times at random again. We'll ignore 25% of target. Uh-oh, they're going with more Hex champions here. We'll ignore further 25% against targets under a Hex debuff from Bannerlord or Knight. So, okay. Gonna hit decently hard here. 3 turns at random. With a 3-turn cooldown if they're under Hex. Then attack 4 times at random. So every ability is attacking at random. You can never target with this guy. Each hit, 75% chance of placing. Oh, so you book this to 100% chance of placing a Hex for 3 turns, which is good. It's a 4-turn cooldown, which makes me hesitant. Each hit also has a booked up 100% chance of stealing 25% of the target's turn meter, steal 50% instead if they're under a Bannerlord or Knight Rev. If this champion's turn meter is at 75% or more after the steal, place a perfect fail for 2 turns. If this champion attacks 2 targets under Hex, debuffs at the same time, place a perfect fail on the champion for 1 turn and will not count counterattacks. Increase critical damage by 30% while attacking under a perfect fail. Okay, so again, anytime you're pairing with Hex, it's hard to get consistent value, especially on full auto. And you're gonna have to really build a team around him with like Thea and different champions that do Hex. And as a damage dealer, we have to know the multipliers, but again, never being able to target anything and having no AoE, I'd probably go like C+. Yeah, like maybe the multipliers would bump him up to a B- or a B, but they'd have to be pretty solid. What I'm seeing right now, my first inclination is like C+, B-. And that does it for the legendaries. Now we've got a couple epics to go over as well. I believe there's 8 champions in total. So we have the 4 legendaries. Now we'll do the 4 epics really quick. We got a Force Affinity Defense champion for the Shadowkin. Attack 1 enemy, 30% chance placing a weaken. Okay, pretty solid for an epic A1. AoE 4-turn cooldown. I don't like that. 75% chance of placing a leech for 2 turns. An AoE leech on a 4-turn cooldown. Then ally protection on all allies except this champion. Fill this champion's turn by 50%. And this was a 3-turn cooldown. So pretty consistent ally protect, which is going to be good for like faction wars and stuff. And you do also get the leech to help your damage dealers. You get the weaken for boss fights. So not too bad. Then there's a passive. Place a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever the HP drops below 50%. But it's a 5-turn cooldown. That's pretty big. I might go with like 4 turns on that or something. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's an epic champion for a faction that needs more champions, obviously being a new one, Shadowkin getting the faction war crypt launching very soon here. So yeah, I mean, I'd go like a B. Like I could see. I don't think this is gonna be like a god to your epic or anything. This isn't like a Madame Saris or something, but definitely a pretty solid epic. It will be a good addition as an ally protector with leech and weaken for the Shadowkin. And then we have a force affinity support for the Ogre and Tribes, beating staff. We got a triple hitter A1, and then each hit has you could book this up to a 20% chance of placing a leech for 2 turns. That's not bad for boss fights and stuff like that. 3-starring content for Ogren. And then we've got attack 1 enemy, 3-turn cooldown, placing a decreased speed for 2 turns. That's good. And then you can also decrease the turn meter. So something like the Fire Knight, you're going to lower its speed, lower its turn meter. Not bad. And then we've got an AoE 3-turn cooldown of placing decreased attack. You can book it up to 100% chance of getting decreased attack and heal reduction. And then we get 24% ally speed in dungeons. So pretty good progression champion here. You got decreased speed for bosses. You're also lowering his turn meter. You're also getting leech, and you're also gonna decrease AoE attack on a 3-turn cooldown with a big speed aura in dungeons. So yeah, I go like B+. Again, not gonna be like a top 5 epic or anything, but pretty solid for a faction that can use some more good epics. So yeah, I'd go like B+. Then an epic for the Banner Lords and attack champion. We've got Mistress of Malice. I like that. Attack. It sounds like an ability Trunda would have. But attack 1 enemy, fill the champion's turn meter by 50% if critical. Attack 1 enemy, place an extra hit if critical. Okay, fill the champion. Now we're talking. Fill the turn meter of all allies by 30%. Oh, if it gets a kill. Okay, and then, let's go do the ascended one. Attack all enemies, place a 30% increased crit damage on all allies for also place a 50% on if critical. Okay, it's a 4-turn cooldown, which is unfortunate. I think that last one should be a 3-turn. So, yeah, I'd probably go like a B-. I like this. It's for Bannerlords, which already has a ton of champions. So yeah, this is like a C+ probably. I'm not gonna see this champion getting used a whole lot. And then we've got the last one here, a Magic Affinity Defense Champion for the Bannerlords again. So the Bannerlords getting a couple epics. Attack 1 enemy, 20% chance, placing a Provoke. 30% chance, I mean, not bad for an epic on the A1. We got an AoE 3-turn cooldown with 100% chance of placing a Weaken, and also a little bit of a chance to place a Fear. That's not bad for an epic. A 3-turn cooldown, AoE Weaken, and Fear. Yeah, that's not bad. And then also place a 30% reflect damage on all allies for 2 turns. And also place a counterattack on this champion. And then we're going to do Provoke if getting hit. 3-turn cooldown. I mean, I think the selling point is the A2 there with the AoE Weaken and Fear. So yeah, that's decent. 1 turn Weaken. I mean, that's pretty solid for an epic champion. I'd probably go like a B+. I'm not quite going to go into the A's. But yeah, for an epic champion, I'd go B+. You gotta remember to grade epics a little bit less harsh as legendaries. So yeah, B+ on this one here. Okay, so then all in all, I mean, like kind of meh. I'm not seeing something super exciting. Like I'm not seeing a Siphi or a Duchess or something that's gonna be insane. But admittedly, we don't know the multipliers. So the most important thing to take away from this is talking about the books on the Fragment Summon Champion, which is going to be 4 + 4 is 8 + 3 is 11. Okay, so they're learning it's not 18 like Pixneal. So I don't like them to go over 10 on the books. So staying in that 8 to 12 range ideally. This one's 11, so a little bit pricey, but at least it's not as crazy as some of the events that we've seen. And then the new Void Legendary is decent, and depending on the multipliers could be really good. But all in all, like an A- or so looking like to me. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. I really love love to hear your input as well. It's always fun, especially on new champions that I've got to get added to the tier list, to get your input, so I can try to be as accurate as possible and adjust things as we go. And speaking of the tier list, over on ChoflyElite.com, I told you for the last few months, I've been trying to work on getting the website a little bit more up to date and implemented. I have got the tier list that automatically updates with my spreadsheet as I adjust things right here on the main page, ChoflyElite.com. You'll see the new tier list. You click on that. So when you click on that, it will pull up the tier list right here where it ranks all of the champions, and you can actually sort this. So you can go like void, you type that in and it's going to show only void champs. You can go legendary and it'll show only legendaries. It's going to remove all of the epics. You can put in epic, and boom, now you can see it's only showing epic champions and sorts them through. So you can do a bunch of different things here with sorting and stuff like that, and it's going to automatically update and implement with my tier list and my spreadsheet as I get it up to date. And this is really cool because it kind of lays it out for me, and I can see where I'm making mistakes and where I need to kind of go through and look at things to get things adjusted. So it just launched yesterday. I'm going to work on making this better and better, but you can also click on things and it will actually pull up their page where you can see the video and the stats and the breakdown, and also click over here to get an infographic on that champion. So I'm going to continue to work on this and make it better and better, but I just thought it was a good opportunity, speaking of the tier list and new champions, as I get them added, and I will get this up to date for you, that is live on ChoflyElite.com if you want to have some fun browsing through that. So alrighty, that'll do it for this first look at some of these new champions. And I did get access to a test server this morning where I can log in and play around with these champions, figure out their multipliers, and really do a deep dive into figuring out exactly how good these champions are. I can't do that on video because there is a content embargo on that stuff for a couple days. We can't share that with you publicly until I believe the 16th, which is going to be, I think that's Monday, right? Sunday 16th. Let me look. 16th is going to be Sunday. So yeah, basically by like Sunday night, Monday morning, you'll start to see some different content coming out from content creators about some of these new champions and things over on the test server. So I'll be testing that for you, and I will share it with you as soon as I can. But I am going to head on over to stream if you would like to stop by and talk about these new champions. We'll be hanging out for a few hours discussing everything going on in Raid to wrap up the week here as we head into Friday night. So I'd love to see you there. If not, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.